Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of our Line Fight Zoom chats. And it's been a long couple of days, but we've bounced back after a whale of a show on this past Friday night. I'm joined by Nathan Corbett, of course, and we are also joined by Ian Greer, who will be on the April 9th card coming up on UFC Fight Pass. Let's do a fast recap, guys. We'll start with Nathan. What did you like? I don't even know if you could wrap that up in less than about 10 minutes, but
Yes.
maybe give us a quick synopsis on your favorite things from Line Fight 64 this past week on Fight Pass.
Yeah, I mean, it was just such a great show with 6 fights and 3 knockouts. Of course, Iron Boy Mike Triana, starting the night off with a good head kick KO, very technical fight in the first, round, and then come out with a head kick KO, which is fantastic. Of course, Andy and Crystal, five rounds, and Andy really showcased her skills in that fight and come away with a great win, winning every round pretty much of the whole fight. I guess a surprising fight was our third fight with Cody versus Chance, and Chance being like 6'4" versus 5'10". Thinking the distance might have made a big change of the fight, but it wasn't. Cody jumped on him with some powerful leg kicks and some good punches, finishing with a body shot. And of course, our heavyweights. I'll leave the best thing to last, of course, with Steve Walker. But our heavyweight matchups. I mean, two 5-round battles. Joe Stripling with Terrence Hodges straight up. Terrence Hodges got cut with an axe elbow in the first minute to a minute and a half of the first round. Never been elbowed before. Gets this big gash on his head and then has to fight through and fight 5 more rounds or 4 more rounds. But he actually fought the distance of the fight, getting cut multiple times, showing absolute warriorship through that. And that was an exciting fight for me, of course, being an elbow fighter. Elbow specialist and loving the elbow. So that for me was probably the highlight of the night as far as the fight, undercard fights. But then, Cody East, Warren Thompson going, toe to toe, like back and forth, toe to toe for the whole 5 rounds. And then, Warren coming home in that last round to steal the fight was fantastic. And of course, the main event, our Lion Fight world champion and North American champion, Steve put him to sleep. Walker, now from 8-0 to 9-0, doing something most spectacular. Probably one of the craziest highlight knockouts I've ever seen. With a quick hook in the first 10 seconds, and then backs it up with a jumping head kick and then a cyclone or tornado kick to the head for a knockout. Just, it was unbelievable. I think that video needs to go viral. Because that was something that you just do not see, and it was phenomenal.
Ian, you obviously are a Lion Fight competitor, one of our signed athletes, and also a fan. You were watching at home on Friday night. I guess from our perspective in the building, it was something to behold what Steve Walker did. Tell me about sitting on your couch at home and watching that happen.
Oh, it was crazy. I was jumping all over the place. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this needs to be an ESPN top 10 right now. Right at that moment it was electrifying. It was nuts. I felt the energy. Just listening to it and just watching the whole thing go down was unbelievable. The whole card really was pretty electrifying.
Does that get you more amped up? You're watching that fight, you see that finish, and then you go, man, in 4 weeks, I'm in that ring.
Yeah, it set the bar. That last card really set the tone for this year. It was unbelievable. I started getting goosebumps a little bit. Kind of, it's creeping up 4 weeks out here. A little less than 4 weeks out actually. So I can't wait to be a part of it, and I think it's going to be a great year for Lion Fight.
Have you got something special now? You said it sets the tone for the rest of the year. It's like, okay, now what can I do to top Steve Walker, or at least get in the same highlight reel?
My thing is I just really want to bring a good, clean Thai style of Muay Thai to the Lion Fight stage. I really want to, spending a lot of time over in Thailand like I have in the past, I really want to bring that intricate style over here and really implement it and, really get the fans hooked on a clean, good Thai style, good smooth technique and good precision.
All right, Nathan, take it away.
Yes, hi Ian, nice to meet you. Of course, looking forward to interviewing you in a few weeks' time. But just going back on a few of your past situations here with the knee surgery, and before I even go to the knee surgery, I noticed you've had quite a extensive amateur career, and then 6 professional fights as well, which is great. 5-1 here, from what I've got on the stats at least. Then a few years ago, you had a knee surgery and had some boxing fights. The reason why I wanted to ask you that question, from over the years when I was competing professionally, you're always getting injuries just from the hard slog of what Muay Thai is. And when I used to have injuries, I would, develop other skills, develop different kind of patterns of movement. Has this knee surgery and taking these boxing fights added to your style versus just, say, for example, when you're living in Thailand, learning the traditional Thai boxing as you've just spoke about, but has this boxing added another dimension to your style?
I think it adds a little bit of like the footwork and the movement, the angles, how to read the right distance and stuff. The boxing distance obviously is much different than Thai boxing distance, and I think just kind of getting the different looks and the different movements, and kind of seeing what you can kind of take from each sport and kind of make it into my own style, I think has kind of been a big factor in that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And one other question on martial arts training and blending styles together. I researched and noticed that you started in martial arts and jiu-jitsu for a few years. Have you adapted the clinching of jiu-jitsu to a Thai clinch? I have other friends who are black belts in jiu-jitsu who took that actually into their Thai boxing clinching, just sort of made it a little bit more of their own style.
I guess I didn't really think of it at the time. I was kind of doing jujitsu pretty consistent at first, and then kind of went over to Muay Thai and didn't really think of bringing that jujitsu over to Muay Thai. But I definitely could see like how the discipline of martial arts in its own, being in a different, having it all be kind of combat sports related, I could see how the discipline would have really kind of brought over to Muay Thai and would have helped out with that a lot, and boxing as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. No, so tell me, what are you looking forward to mostly to step in the ring, of course, and for your, with Lion Fight going forward?
Oh, I think like I said earlier, bringing like a good Thai style to Lion Fight. I've seen I've been following Lion Fight since Battle of the Desert 5. I think back when Joe Schilling and Simon Marcus were having their big feuds back then, and Artem Levin and Simon Marcus as well. So I've been following Lion Fight for a long time. I used to watch the highlights. So I've been following for a very, very long time. So I'm very excited just to step into be under the lights and stuff and be a part of something I've watched from afar for a long, long time.
Ian, I wanted to ask you, obviously you spent a lot of time in Thailand. You were presented to us as probably one of the best prospects, American prospects in Muay Thai. For those fans who have not seen you fight yet, you mentioned the smooth technique, but what else can fans look for when we finally get to see Ian Greer in a Lion Fight ring on UFC Fight Pass?
Well, I know a lot of people are kind of talking about my elbows I've seen online and stuff, but I don't want to give away too much. So I've got other techniques, I've got other skills and other things I'm working on. So I'm very much looking forward to kind of putting those on display as well.
And you've got a pretty sizable opponent in Jefferson De Silva. He's got a good coach. Washington Dos Santos is his main training partner and coach. Size up that battle for us.
Yeah, I mean, he's a heavy puncher, from what I've seen and from what I've heard and stuff. I gotta be careful, with getting into his punch range and kind of watching those heavy punches and stuff. I know he's gonna bring the fight. He's gonna come strong and stuff, but I think I've got to have a good game plan ready, and I'll be prepared for anything.
Okay. Well, I will definitely want to be seeing this fight because I think it's going to be something pretty special to see. Like you said, the people that brought us to your attention or brought you to our attention spoke very highly of you, and I think that's an accolade certainly for you as an American who went to Thailand to train heavily and to learn the craft. Yeah, I think you learned a lot of respect from people in Thailand. So I think we're all looking forward to seeing you. I know, Nathan, anything you wanted to ask Ian before we wrap up?
No, that's good. I don't, like you said, doesn't want to give away too much strategy and game plan, which is understandable. We're just excited to obviously have you on the card, and I'm sure you'll show your magic when the bell rings.
Yeah, I'm, by the way, Nathan, huge fan of yours. You did a seminar here a couple of years ago in Minnesota, in my hometown, and I went to it.
Oh, yes.
It was really,
Yes.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
so it's awesome to catch up with you now and be a part of this and stuff. And yeah, like I said, I just can't look forward to it. And Nick and Ood from Santai Muay Thai, I can't thank you guys enough for speaking so highly of me.
Well,
That's amazing.
I think, Ian, that if you throw a few elbows in your fight, you'll probably get Nathan's attention real quick. So
yeah, that would always be.
Yeah. Yes, you'll get my attention real quick. So I'm gonna be sharp on you and eyes on you the whole time. So do me a favor, give me a carnage elbow out there.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be hard to follow Bazooka Joe Stripling after last Friday.
Oh yeah, he done it well. He did it real well.
Yeah, that was it was an awesome fight.
Ian, thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate it. For those of you that don't know yet, you are going to see Ian Greer in action on April 9th, UFC Fight Pass. It'll be Ian Greer against Jefferson Silva. It's going to be an unbelievable matchup. I think that's going to could potentially be a show stealer that night. So Ian, thank you so much for your time tonight. Nathan, thank you for your time. And we will bring you another edition of Line Fight Zoom Chats very soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. I'll see you soon.